Welcome back to the Sophia Files. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Who do we have with us today? I'll start with you, Danica.
Hi, I'm Danica Olson.
I'm so happy you've been with us since the beginning. Ariel,
Hello, I am Ariel.
and go ahead and give us an idea of the gifts that we're working with, Danica, as well. Sorry.
My main gift is mediumship.
Awesome. And Ariel?
I would like to say that I have claircogency with a little mediumship.
Awesome. Awesome. And Melissa?
I would say I have here recently the mediumship has not been nearly as strong as the clairvoyance and claircognizant.
Awesome. Awesome. And my name's Sophia Sterling, and I'm a little bit of all those things. I think Melissa will probably be jumping in and out today. But okay, so we have an amazing episode where you're going to be talking about the oceans and some of the unseen elements in that, whatever that might mean. We're going to be talking carnivals and entertainment, like kind of old school a little bit, right? And the underbellies of it. And then we're going to be talking unseen forces in romantic relationships. So let's get this ball rolling. I'm curious, first of all, like, let's kind of place a, oh, it's Terry. Oh no, 1 second. I'm so sorry. Terry, I'm so sorry. I'm doing, the podcast. You want to say hi?
Hey, Terry.
Danica and Ariel say hi, Terry. All right, I love you. I love you. Okay. We were talking a lot of like work stuff today. Okay. What do you think? Let's put zoom in on what we mean with oceans and the unseen. Whose idea was that, first of all? Was that you, Danica? Last
It
week?
was me.
Oh,
I
it was
had
you.
the
Okay.
oceans.
So what were we looking for when we try to remote view this, or when we try to go into it?
Well, I want to look at all of the elements. I feel like that's kind of been pushed to the forefront of my mind. And so we'll start with the ocean because I believe that's kind of what I resonate closest with. And with the ocean, just look, because I don't believe that we know everything that's in the ocean, but how do those come to be? Is there ever a possibility of us discovering more of those unseen, unknown things in the ocean? And with other things that have been seen in the past, like in the ocean, I guess you could think of like folk tales and such, like how much truth is there to those.
Okay. So we're gonna go broad with it. Anything and everything the guides can serve us on a platter with the sea, essentially.
Mhm.
A place of many portals. I just heard. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm gonna have to feel that one out. Gateway. I heard gateways and portals.
Deep, dark secrets.
Other worlds.
I'm also hearing ancient wisdom.
I feel like one of the things that I definitely think is like ancient knowledge, like the placement therein of very, it's like they're showing me the waves. Every time there's like a wave is also a communication. So they're showing it almost like that data flows in that kingdom, quote unquote, much differently.
Yeah, it's like a different language, like a different vibration of language. That's what I'm hearing too.
Melissa, we're trying to figure out anything and everything under the sun regarding oceans. And I've it's also like I feel very strongly that it's almost like split up differently than land. It's almost, you know what I mean? It's almost like land is like a dominion in this one way, but it's almost like there are places you can go in the ocean that are almost like their own. I don't know how to say that. Like that, the ocean's cut up too.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that means.
It's
segregated.
I was thinking about that, how we had discussed the different countries and the darkness being involved in the different countries. And so obviously there has to be a way for the ocean to be involved in that too. I don't know about darkness 100%, but
I'm feeling that there is, yeah, that
there's
there's pockets of it.
yeah.
Like kind of like how different energies kind of attract different energies. It feels that same in the ocean too.
Yeah, I'm hearing that you really can't have the light without the dark. There's always going to be that element. Um, they were telling me that the ocean is it's like a hub. I mean, that it is. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of spots that are active, um, but it definitely operates without our knowing it. Like there's a very concentrated effort to keep those places hidden.
Feel like there's repositories of that very top, well, what we would call like black goo, but on that spiritual level, that really dark energy, that really dark physical essence. I believe that there's probably repositories within the ocean that are very ancient, because they're showing me, oh my god, it's showing me, like, imagine if there was something that were to impact the earth, and then all of the things that would be stuck in different places. They're showing me that, like, the oceanic reality it's just a conglomeration of pressurized, that, I don't know how to say this, whatever would have collided got stuck there first. But they're showing me the collision comes from they're not showing me collision from here. So that's the other thing that is very strange and makes me feel like a crazy person. But yeah, it's not coming from we've kind of covered the mermaids before, but I'm very curious. What are our thoughts on the whales and the dolphins? Ariel, I'll let you take a stab at them.
They're showing me that the dolphins and whales that we know now are an evolution of something greater from the past. Definitely communicators and protectors of the ocean.
What do you feel, Danica?
Well, definitely feel like, I guess the best way to describe this is that the whales are like the older, wiser ones that hold the wisdom, almost like think about like the grandparents, the old grandparents or something, and that the dolphins are like the kids that are they hold it too, but it's like they don't have the same ancient wisdom as the whales. And it's almost like there's a grace, like a gracefulness about the whales.
I'm trying to figure out what they anchor. They're showing me that they anchor something. They're anchoring
Yeah.
something. And it's part grid work. It's auditory in nature, so it's a sonic it's
It's a
through that.
frequency.
And what what are they carrying or ferrying? Carrying.
I'm going to try to reconnect. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
We can hear
Yes.
you. I'm hearing also it has that their migration patterns are very important to the work that they do.
I was trying to figure out, there's something about what it's like they have to be circulating something. I just can't tell if it's information or energy.
Almost like an energy holder.
Yeah.
And when they're migrating, they're notifying like messengers.
It almost feels like an energy or a frequency that nobody else has access to. That's what it feels like.
Would there be is there ever a version where we could understand what they're saying or thinking through,
I'm hearing not 100%.
Mm-mm.
That we can try and try and try, but it's like our human design isn't capable of doing it 100%.
Well, because it's telepathy. It's telepathic as much as it is auditory. It's almost like they're saying when we like when we use the word bake and we're baking, but then also how many different ways can we get baked?
I like that description.
So it just, we would never be able to nail that on the nose. was there anything in particular, Ariel, outside of that you were wanting to kind of capture? I feel like the guides are giving us not very specific things, but they're almost like, but enough.
Yeah. I think about this movie that I watched not too long ago. I believe it was a 90s movie, and it was a girl who joined a school, and I feel like it was called The Craft, maybe, where this girl kind of gets like crazy upset. And this is not like, I'm not thinking about any of this, but I just thought it was kind of goes back to what's being like when in the media and TV shows and movies and such. But what she did was she got crazy obsessed with witchcraft, and then she went into the ocean and like slit her wrist, not her wrist, but like her palms, and was talking to the like an ocean deity. It was like, please give me all the power and such. But it's like it feels like abuse to the ocean to do that. And so
now I understand why you prefaced it by, I'm not thinking about any of this.
No. I'm not.
I was like, why did she say that? And then I was like, I now understand why she said
Yeah,
that.
no. I don't want to do anything.
No.
Because that's kind of the vibe I get from the ocean too, is just like conjuring, that people may use it for a ground. What sort of grounds? Like not even common ground, not playground, but like some sort of grounds.
Let's imagine that there's a lot of truth to what they were saying about the portals and mirrors and boundaries, right? Let's just call them boundaries. And let's say that a lot of the boundaries to our reality might be placed in the watery depths. Let's just make that argument. Let's act like that's true. Then we recognize that if we say interdimensional beings, then we would also be saying that if we accept that there are boundaries in this reality and there are different dimensions, then it would be possible how you could see a collective of people thinking there would be water gods, thinking that there would be something to sacrifice to, especially if you see that there is an emergence out of it. Right? So I think part of that is abusive, of where there's been a lot of sacrifice to the ocean, things like that. What I really feel is that the ocean is a place of games that we have no business in. And they're making it evident because they're showing us like ants on the top of a armadillo's back, and the earth is armadillo's back, and we don't, like, the ants will never have to concern themselves with what the armadillo's doing. And so it's almost like when we're trying to go into these depths, it's almost like they're saying to us, these mechanisms, these like mechanics of this space, they're not even for you to utilize to their fullest function, if that makes sense. Like, for example, I think that there are, if you've ever seen those videos where they found oceans in the ocean of just denser liquid or a differently hydrolyzed like particle, and then you can splash within that, like things like that. It's like they're showing me that if you were to successfully break through the density levels, you would hold knowledge that now would make you a problem. So they're almost kind of like, how much of a problem do you want to invite in, and how much of a problem do you want to become? As far as the element of water, memory, healing, emotions, information, communicator, these are all things they're saying about that element. Melissa, what do you feel, what are they saying about water or that element itself?
So they're sharing that water can easily inhibit your awareness. So it's not just about the properties of water being enlightening. It can also wash away what you don't need. So what you don't need to know. So part of the reason why these entities have chosen water is for that reason. It is almost as if that is a way of cloaking what they are doing.
In a lot of abuse patterns, there will be evidence of like the child being drowned a lot. And that's really interesting because what a way to like clear a memory. or clear that, and then water is very clearing. So I almost hear like to wash away the sins. How interesting. Of the elements, Danica, what do you think you are the most like, that you gravitate to the most?
It's a toss up between air and fire.
Ariel, what do you think she is the most like, based on your guides?
Fire.
What about you? What do you think Danica is, Melissa?
I thought air.
I feel a lot of air too. Air and fire for sure, but air for me.
Yeah, I don't think any of
Ariel,
us are strongly
you
just.
believe that.
I don't think any of us are just one, but I feel air is strongest with Danica.
Mm-hmm. Ariel, I know you feel that you're mostly watery. Danica, do you think that that's true?
1000%. Yes.
What about you, Melissa? Do you think that's true? I feel it too. I love how we're all just like, yeah, and
100%.
next.
Yeah. No question about that.
And Danica, what do you think Melissa is most of?
Fire.
Fire. Hands down. Ariel, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yes. Also to the fire.
But also to the air. There's a lot
Interchangeable.
of imagination and a lot.
I-
And that's why, what does fire and air do together? It combusts even larger. It's why you can sometimes get in your own inferno, but then you always ground in the ashes of it, but you do return. That's what my guides just said. They said she gets up, but once it's burned.
I go
Love that,
all
though.
in.
They were showing you very well. What's so funny is they were showing you getting up, like from burning down, whatever, like the metaphor of it, and then they showed you doing this, just like I'm used to this. This is fine, and then just like getting back to business. And what would you say I mostly am, if there was anything?
Fire.
This will be interesting. Ariel, what do you feel?
I feel the earth.
I feel both, but I feel fire first.
And what do you feel, Melissa?
I think fire and then earth.
That's so interesting you'll say earth at all. Just because I don't feel it, but again, we can never diagnose ourselves accurately. Oh, okay, I could see that makes sense. And my guys just filled in why y'all would say that. Okay, that makes sense. Because you don't see what goes on in here.
And all together, we are an avatar.
I know, right? Well, we have a good, oh my gosh, we have such a good group here. Okay, let's move into the carnivals and the entertainment underbelly. I will just say we're going to ask that the guides come a little bit closer for this conversation and be present with us, because we recognize, carnival, we can maybe brush on dark things as we move through this. So, clowns, always with the, we know what that's about. I'll just say I believe that the clown persona has always been a little bit Nephilim coded. I believe that that's why a lot of the demonic energies that come through look a lot either clownish. They're embodying that. Weirdly enough, if you follow anything like with anime, in Death Note, that particular animation, I personally feel is very, very, very accurate to some depictions of demonic energies. The more powerful ones, the more self-identifiable ones. So I'll start with that, and I'll just say I think that there's a reason sometimes kids are naturally horrified by clowns and they don't really know why they are. So we'll start it with that. But Danica, what do your guides say about carnivals in general? That kind of old Barnum and Bailey, all that.
Ooh, I don't know if I like hearing that. That it was like a way of enticing the naive in. It made the darkness look light and fun and funny and enticing.
And hedonistic.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel, Melissa?
So the first thing they connected it with is an older movie. I think it was out like in the 80s. Something Wicked This Way Comes. And it was literally about a carnival troupe that comes in, and it's evil. And so all their depictions and their interactions are trying to, if I remember correctly, trying to steal the children away. But that's kind of where they're going with it. And they did start off their communication with saying not all of this is bad, that there are some truly like performer type, energy to this. However, the dark has clung to it because of its proximity to children. And the whole point of darkness trying to ensnare the light and ensnare the vulnerable and pure of heart. So there is this dichotomy of those who really do enjoy performing versus this darker side of the industry that they're in.
And thank you, Melissa, and your guides for also like definitely the media trained group, because she's so right. It's not everyone. We're not talking about everybody who's done carnivals. And I love Cirque du Soleil. Like, yes, absolutely. To anybody who's like, what the heck? I'm in this industry. No, we're talking. I keep seeing a very old school carnival. That's what I'm like, almost the Pennywise style, because we're talking about the origin. And I do think everything Melissa said is 1,000%. And the proximity to children and the nomadic nature that it used to have. And it still kind of does, but you know what I mean. They said, you must be leery of the things that come and go. How weird.
Yep.
Oof. Okay. They took me a weird place real fast. Ariel, what are your guides talking about?
They're talking about the formation of the actual seating chart. So when you think of the carnivals, either at the half circle or even at the full circle, so there definitely feels like there's a connection there. It's just an energetic vacuum for it's an
It's a harvest.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why they make it so appealing to families, and even mentioning to the point that it's advertised in schools. Because I remember being a kid and getting a ticket for the carnival, like at school. And what is it? It's free media. It's free marketing for them. And it was just here recently where they took out the animals. And now I don't feel like it is as, there are not as many people going now as there were when animals were involved.
I'm hearing
They were
that
talking about like the
I was going to say, I'm hearing to
Go ahead.
Ariel's point is that the reason why they are lesser attended now is because our vibration is starting to raise, and people are, without even knowing it, kind of pulling away from that venue.
I want to see if we can connect with any of our mediums here. Let's bring through somebody who would have we'd like to speak with somebody who has a truth, would know or be knowing of the truth of the essence of these carnivals. Somebody who would have seen behind the curtain, so to speak, even behind the furthest curtain. Danica, I'll let you start. And there's no hurry.
There's a younger woman here, and she's telling me she was used for exploitation. Yeah, that it back then when she was in it, that it was almost like she was property, and she was used to lure people in, mostly men, because they were the ones back then that made the money. The women didn't really have a say. And so she was used to get men to come in and bring their kids. She's very beautiful.
Yeah, I was wondering, you were saying that, and I was kind of wondering maybe if we connected to a similar energy, because I saw very like flapper style,
Mm-hmm.
so like some
Yep.
sort of head, and then
Uh-huh.
like the fur boa, and
Yeah.
just like the
Or like
twirling around of it.
tiny waist.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like almost like a pinup
Mm-hmm.
girl.
I was
Mm-hmm.
getting
Mhm.
reading her energy, not that I connected independently, but I was getting very Jessica Rabbit energy.
Yes.
In general.
The face.
She says her name's Ethel.
What does Ethel think now about what has become of the carnivals?
She says some of it is amazing, and the the acts that people have actually succeeded in doing are, she says, phenomenal. But there's always light and dark, she says, and you can feel it.
And
So
Melissa?
choose wisely. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Miss Ethel. Melissa, I'll let you go.
So I asked my guides to connect with someone. They're actually speaking on behalf of Barnum from like Barnum and Bailey. And I was curious if he was actually on that side. And they said yes. So what they're communicating is that it was very much for this person, very much akin to what we're seeing in like the ultra elite wanting to control things, and that his involvement in starting that was again that performance, like, yes, this sounds like a fun thing, but it quickly became about power and control and money, to the point where him being on the other side was intense rehabilitation. And but the
And I'll speak on that.
yeah, so for him, with what he is, the feelings and emotions that he's portraying from that time, as if he was that person at that time, was very much like, how dare you? How dare you say that about me? But also admitting now it was entrapment. It was just being beguiled by the possibility of being important and being able to travel the world and enriching themselves off of the backs of others.
And you are so spot on, and you would have no way to know that really. But I have sincere and deep suspicions that I keep feeling there's almost an Estonian tie to that group. Of like a trafficking, like that. This was what that was their main thing. It's kind of like McDonald's sells hamburgers, but they're really a real estate company, and it's like they sold carnivals, but really they were trafficking and stealing
And what they're saying was
resources and a lot of other things.
they preyed on those who were different, who were being shunned in their communities, offering a better life, and then actually trafficking them.
Yeah, because
I
then
guess
you're off with the carnival. Oh my God, yeah, you ran away. They used to say that. I forgot. And
I guess it
Ariel,
makes
what
sense. A
about
few
you?
minutes ago, whenever we first started, like, and it's always like you say things come to mind. It's like, well, I don't really know how that fits in, but now saying people who don't fit in, like I had heard the freaks and the geeks, and now that makes sense.
I love that. Well, that's the fun thing about with the longer and longer we do this work, you do start to see like if you feel it, you might as well say it because there's some reason you felt it, unless you normally have those thoughts. Um, I'm gonna see if I can connect with any energy. I feel like I've got like a teen boy, like a 14 or 15-year-old boy, and he feels like all he did was he would run around. It was like he would run behind the scenes to make the show work, whatever you call that. Almost like a rafter climber. But they're kind of showing me also looking very like gaunt, and they're mixing that like raft rat energy with a chimney sweep. That dirtiness and that like kind of hopelessness. And he's kind of just indicating it was a lot of work. He says he said it was a lot of work to do what we did, and he's talking about more on the lighter side of things, but on the skill set of things. And he's saying, he's showing me just like he's showing me that there was brotherhood. He's showing me that there was, yes, it was all the dark things we've said, but he's saying as well, like, but this was my home. And it took all of us to get this put on together. And he's almost kind of like, there's pride in what he's talking about. I'm trying to figure out why he's presenting so young to me. And it does feel that he would have just gotten sick. He's saying, because I am. I was like, all right, I'm sorry. But yeah, his version of that feeling, it feels he's kind of romanticized it because he died very young. So while I feel he was trafficked in all the things, I feel that he is remembering the brightest components. And he's just so
and
accomplished. He's just so happy about hitting marks.
so for this person, so my guide is telling me that he fits in the category of being trafficked, but I was getting the impression that he was born into it. So he's been there his whole life, but still being trafficked.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have seen it that way. Not because he wasn't being, but because he just had like it was normal around him, and he's kind of saying he's kind of indicating that okay, that's fucked up. I see somebody flipping him a coin and him focusing only on that part and getting something sweet. So it's almost like it was kind of worth it. I don't know how to say that differently. And it was not with the female. So, he played his role, but man, he's just like, every time I connect with his energy, he's just so excited to be there. So it's kind of contagious. How fun. Okay. I actually want to I want to bring in an energy that has had a magical experience with the ocean. Magical, scary, something that they just would not believe. Because you've got 4 psychics on a podcast. Who's going to believe us? Like, let's be real. So here's your time to shine. Let's see if there's a story or somebody who can share with us anything interesting. I'm immediately connecting to something very, very otherworldly and very Nordic in energy. I'm feeling like I'm in a longboat of some sort, and there's lights. There's very, very, very bright lights underneath us, and we will never know what it is. That's what they just said. They said we never knew what it was, but they are like very bright. And my guides are sharing with me it would have just been the ascension of some craft out of it. It would have been normal almost. My guides are almost saying it's normal almost. He's saying it changed it changed all of their path of depth of religion. They're saying the impact of this was very great on their life. Danica, I'll let you start.
Well, for some reason, I'm being connected with a turtle.
Okay.
So, and I'm being told it's more about them seeing the changes over time. And he's saying it's interesting how, from our perspective, that he's saying that the world's going to hell, but it's always done this. It's a up and down, up and down. There's never a constant, he says. So it's that whenever the people are in it, they are dramatic about it, but it's almost like he's saying like the earth is always here and it's always going to do what it's going to do regardless of what. Now he's referring back to the ants, what you little ants do.
And Melissa, what about you?
So it's an entity that has difficulty, or I have difficulty in recognizing it as a form, but they're showing themselves as kind of like Route 66. People would drive and it would be on the just going across the country and just hanging out. They're showing this as an entity who is like ping-ponging back between different places as if they are just like joyriding. So they're coming here, they're going there, they're using these portals, but it is like just for fun. And they're not coming across with any like specific agenda, or it's as if they're just like popping in because this is entertainment for this to come and be in this area, and then they're zapping off to go other places. It's literally like zip, 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 like they're going through like wormholes. It's just I definitely get this like Zoom feeling Like when you would watch Star Trek and they would go into hyperdrive, it's there. That's what they're showing me. It's just like they're going all over the place, but they come here and this is just a stop and they enjoy themselves and they're off again.
And what about you, Ariel?
I was getting a young girl, but the more that I zoomed out on it, what it was almost like her mother asking for like a passage of some sort for her daughter. So the daughter's not conscious, so I'm wondering maybe if she was ill or on her way out. And it was almost like an ask of the ocean to take her. And because she presents herself to be like very young, and she's on the boat with and she's just being shown so many different things, and to me it's just magical and mystical because I'm seeing it through her eyes. I don't see anything dark, and it's just it's just that feeling of if you think that you've seen something, then you haven't seen anything yet, or however that saying goes. I know it's not like all fun and games, but like to her it just felt very fun. They made it fun for her.
Well, and just I was just curious, so I had to double back on the ocean thing. Let's move into, and this is kind of interesting, unseen forces in romantic relationships. And I am speaking about like sentient, well aware of what they're doing, influences or forces on relationships or love in general. And Melissa, I will let you start on that. Whatever comes to you on that topic.
So they brought up cherubs, or at least the way that we interpret cherubs and Cupid's arrow, that all that kind of stuff. And they're saying, yeah, there definitely are trickster forces that beguile. And yeah, so it's almost like this is just what they do for kicks, and getting people enamored like it's a spell. It doesn't last forever, and then it dissolves. But this is just like look what we can do. Yeah.
And aroma that you can, yeah, if you've ever met somebody in a new relationship, you call it like NRE, new relationship energy, you can smell it on them. Like that's what they're feeding on. Danica, what do you feel? What do you see?
Well, I'm being told that the reason why they do is because we're all built for connection. And if we're connected to another person that also has a light that shines bright, then putting those together, it's like illuminating. And it's almost like they use things, even I'm hearing alcohol, to create problems, to break up the light, is what I'm being told.
Gosh, excellent point. Ariel?
I don't know that I really have anything to add right now.
No, that's okay. Let me see if they more to what you're saying, Danica, the that causing issues, the turmoil. There are times sometimes where a demonic, let's just call it what it is, a darker energy will find relationships that are breaking and ingratiate themselves to basically siphon, like leech out of both parties, because that's basically a 2-for-1, right? Let's cause pain in this household, and that's almost like rubbing two batteries together so they charge each other, right? It's just like, ugh.
Yeah. Yep. I'm also hearing it's because if we are in a good relationship and it does create more love, it raises the vibration as well. So they also do it to lower the vibration everywhere.
Yeah, because they don't have the footholds. Um, Ooh, my guys just said, don't forget about vanity. They can get in one person's ear and start getting them to feel very confident about themselves and very strong, and then before you know it, you've got a cheater, and then before you know it, da 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 da.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's lots of ways. Even self beliefs, like limiting self beliefs. Like I mean, there's, I'm hearing, I'm hearing the word oodles of ways. That's an interesting word.
rules of ways. Um, Let me see if there's anything. How can we guard against this?
I just heard and I saw in really bold letters, love yourself.
Yes. Okay, this sounds silly, but I have to say it. They're showing me like when you grab like your dog or your cat's face and you're like, "How could I hate you?" They're saying you have to do that with your partners. Like when you start to the best way is as soon as you realize you're starting to feel strongly against someone that you say you love, just see if you can like be like, "How could I hate this person? Like this can't be true." Or if it is, get the papers. No, I'm just kidding.
It doesn't help either being on social media and seeing certain videos about somebody's being cheated on, and then now you fall into it adds to your algorithm of women need to be independent and stand up, and like maybe you're not as happy as you think you are in your relationship, and that plants a seed in your mind of, well, maybe I'm not as happy um, as I am, and it's not you, it is the external forces.
Well, and the defense against even that is know thyself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know if you're in a good relationship. You know if you're happy. You know if you're not. Like, and nobody needs to be all the way happy all the time. I think that's a big lie that's sold to us. Um, but all the same, I just heard, you don't court chaos. It's like it's the mind diet. What are we feeding our mind, right? Especially the stuff that comes out. Like my dreamscape is so, you add it in my eyeballs, there's a chance it's coming out in the dreams. And that's why I won't watch certain things in a movie, not because I'm fucking scared, but because I don't need that regurgitating. And I visually regurgitate, which is so weird because I don't visually see when when using my gifts. So it's almost like it's used against me more than it benefits.
Okay, can we go off
Okay,
on a
let me see if there's
tangent?
anything else. Yes, let's
Okay.
tangent.
Oh my God, my dreams have been off the rails lately. I don't know if anybody else is. I mean,
Tell
it's
what
not like all bad, but like, okay, I had one dream as if I was like I was a teenager and we were in like a detention facility. Not trying to pull politics in, but it was as if like maybe because we all had on the same color of like sweatshirt, sweatpants. So maybe like even like a psych ward kind of a thing. But it was that. I mean, it's just been really bizarre, weird dreams. So anybody else having those?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm having weird dreams, but I'm hearing weird stuff. Like, and especially like right before I wake up, it's like specific words are just like someone saying it in my ear. It's bizarre.
what's going on with you, Ariel?
Just weird dream. Okay, so this, like, I took a nap before after work, and then um it was like nobody else was gonna make it. It was just me and you. And then you're like, hey, and I said,
Like
okay, you want me?
me and you?
Yeah. And then I was like, well,
Oh,
you just want me to come to Arlington then? And then we were planning that out. And then
weird.
yeah. And then it's been a couple weeks now, but I had a dream and my son died. He died by drowning. And then he woke up and he was like, I had a dream that I died. But he had
Okay.
died differently in his dream.
Well, okay, let's all zoom in on Melissa's. So run me through that one more time. I just wanted to get a grasp on each of you so I could feel it out. But run me through what you said happened.
So that particular dream was everybody that I interacted with within this like contained facility were between 12 and 20 years old. We all had on the same color of like sweatshirt, sweatpants, and there was an appointed like one of the older kids was appointed as the ones in charge. And there was this question of, well, how are we going to get our medicine? And it was just almost, it felt institutionalized, and like nobody was really caring to follow up with us. Like we were just left there to like survive in this little environment.
Sort it out.
Yeah.
All right. I have something.
I do
I
too.
don't
Yeah.
know what it is. I'm gonna let Danica, I'm gonna let you go.
Well, I'm being told, or I'm being shown, that the reason why you're being shown this is there's a belief that was created in you, and I'm hearing around the age 14. I'm unsure though if it's like a religious group or like a school group. Were you religious when you were younger? Like because you had to be?
No, but around my 8th grade year, I would have been around 13-ish. There was a group of the teenagers, and it was almost like it was for the kids who were having like emotional dysregulation, and it was 2 people who were trained in child psychology that were working with us. And my mom was like, I don't really feel like this was the right thing, but you want to do it, I'm going to let you do it. And in that course of me being who I am, I was picking up on other people's feelings. And at that time, I started becoming suicidal because it was like that was the energy I was absorbing. Not that any of those kids were doing anything wrong or bullying me or anything else. It was a really positive environment, but it was um odd.
Yeah, so there's something around you releasing a certain belief that happened around that time. It's almost like in your dream state, I'm being shown like you're working through it. You're processing it.
Yeah, and I feel that it has something to do with the dreams that you had of your cousins being carried around. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or okay. And then I'll just kind of leave that at that. But
Yeah.
it's dealing in areas and energies of that time. It's specifically around those caretakers.
And I'm hearing it's going to be layers to process.
And it's not intended to be processed consciously.
Mm-mm.
But it's going to feel, because again, it's almost like the stronger we grow our muscles, the more our guides let us start to carry, right? So we've just spent a lot of time strengthening our energetic fields. It's going to make sense because your phrasing, Melissa, as you said, oh my gosh, I've been having the craziest dreams. So you really are metabolizing aspects of this, but in a time frame and space where you can. And you're just like, whoa, what a crazy dream. And you're actually able to unstick, soften fascia almost. Danica, what did you say your dreamscape was going?
I'm just hearing things.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, what are you hearing?
like,
What words?
like this morning, I was told sous vide, SIOUXVIE.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Well, is it like sous vide food?
No,
It's like the Native American
yeah,
sous
but
vide,
not,
yeah.
but then what's the word V? Like sous is, because I was like, what does that even mean? So I'll look it up, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information.
And what are other words that
V is like VIE is in life, like the French word for life.
Well, what other things have you heard?
Oh, I wish I could go back and look on my dream thing because I always write them down. I also had a weird dream about my brother. It was like he kept going down these dangerous stairs, and I kept telling him to stop going down the stairs, but he wouldn't. And then it was like he finally went down, and then I went to go meet him because he had an appointment to get his hair cut, and they wouldn't let him. He like missed the opportunity to get his hair cut because the show had already started. It was weird. Like he missed the boat. Like I don't know. It was weird. It was like I was trying to help him, and I couldn't. Like there was nothing I could do. The show had already started, like it was done.
Well, I think we can probably ideate what that was probably about, which is pretty on the nose. But I want to touch base real quick with the hearing stuff when you wake or before bed. You need to tighten up your energetic hygiene a little bit more. They're showing me that that's basically, it's almost like when you're, it's almost like you have the door unlocked a little bit, because when you're going through those frequencies to come in and out of sleep, it feels like you've left the door unlocked. So and I'm saying, I'm gonna see what would you like her to do to close that down?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Is that mirror still above your bed? That's the first thing they just said. So that would probably help, because that is a portal. And
Why am I love mirrors. I love them. Like
I
I
know,
have,
but it's not that mirrors are bad. Shit, it's not that mirrors are bad. It's not that anything like that. It's that you have the mirror facing you when you sleep, and you're already an energetic. Like, remember what I told you? You just get like a veil, like something that you can just place over it when you sleep. I'm seeing something like light and lacy, something just to obstruct the channel, and that's the word they just used.
I have 3.
And they're not working.
No, I have 3 mirrors that I'm gonna have to cover then in my room.
Well, fuck. That's feng shui 101, babes. Like, we can't be doing that. Like, Terry doesn't even enjoy or fuck with full length mirrors, because she's so highly energetically charged. She doesn't need to deal with the temptation of a walk-in through a mirror to her. They already attack her when she's just running around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, as we know that you're gifted, you're influenced, like this is more like managing the perimeter of your land. You wouldn't allow 3 different gateways to you when you're at your weakest, right? So
I was getting the same concept of the stuff that you're hearing is like noise. It's not meaningful.
chatter.
Yeah, it's chatter, and it's just yeah. So yeah, they're
One time,
they're echoing the same sentimentality or sentiment on mirrors. They're like, yeah, not get some of those covered up.
Damn
and
it.
Ariel, what would you say?
I was gonna say too, though, for me, I think that I'm having a similar experience. So first off, my littlest cat is like if I don't bring her into the bed with me at night, she will sit at the door and meow and meow meow meow. And I think it is because I also have a mirror, like ceiling to floor mirror at the foot of my bed, and it's on the wall.
Right.
I mean I can cover it, but I've already like marked it as a
Right.
like I'm shutting down this portal, right? However, I still have, and I don't know if it's a portal thing or if it's just a going through the levels when you're falling asleep. I get that kind of stuff when I'm falling asleep. I hear people calling my name all the time, as long as I can remember this has happened. And then here recently, I've just been, instead of treating it like this is imaginary, I've been talking to them. So like I actually have people that are coming up in my face and I'm like, that's too close. You need to back off. Not now. Like I'm falling asleep. Not now. So, and it's helped, but yeah, they like I hear them calling my name and I'm like, what do you want? And it's nothing. It's just like sometimes it's one,
nothing
sometimes it's like a
valuable.
bunch. Yeah.
Well, and Ariel, you have very interesting dreams that are a little bit unique to me than sometimes what I feel. I want to know if Melissa or Danica, if you can touch base on this uniqueness that I feel, and then I'll speak on what I believe is happening here in a second.
I'm being shown that you have a unique relationship with fairies, is what I'm being shown.
Okay.
It's like
Why are they in debt to you? Is what I just felt the need to ask. What have you done that made them so fond of you?
Of me?
And it feels past life, or it feels like soul level.
yeah, like you have a very, very close connection.
You played a role in one of their timelines. But now, why is that coming up when I ask about the dreams?
It's almost like I'm hearing that's their portal to connection with you.
And Melissa, what are you feeling?
That there is almost this separate life that she's living in a dream world, which might have something to do with the fairies, but it's almost just like this is home away from home.
Well, they're showing me, okay, it's almost like in your dreamscape, you have the ability or you have the desire to flip through as many papers. Like I see you flipping through like you're reading the news, but you're actually trying to flip through potentials. And you do a lot of this when you're sleeping. So that's what I'm feeling as far as when you try to save things that you can't save, when you have these experiences where your son died and then he's sharing that same memory or that same dream. It's almost like it's kind of a fear. Okay, this is a really weird, it's like a fear-driven tick, but it's like a spiritual OCD tick. It's like you've experienced so much regret or pain, or maybe you just don't like not knowing. I think that's probably more likely, although you do have pain in your timelines, so to speak. But it feels like you're trying to get the jump on anything that could be negative that could happen, and it's bringing you to these moments. But because I don't see you as being highly prophetic. I see you as being highly dimensional viewing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting is that they are like you're going through different timelines. Like you're trying to pick like the best way to, and yeah, you're just like flipping through looking for the best solution or the best way to get forward.
I do have
You're hunting.
so I do have a dream that I feel like it occurs once every couple of years, maybe, but it's always the same dream of being in a particular house, and it's always the same house. And I own this house, but there is a backside that I discover. But whenever I go into it, it's very dark energy. It's very much of like a clown playhouse in it. And I don't know. Like I said, it only happens every couple of years, maybe. But it's always the same house. It's always the same dream.
Feels like a check-in a little bit.
Check-in.
Yeah, it feels like, it makes sense. Would not it make sense that if we've been here a long time, we've been doing this work a long time, that we would be, especially given the fact of some of our origin issue, like the issue of our origin, the issue of our age with our origin, would it not make sense that maybe we've been earmarked on some level? So I feel, and it's not a negative thing, it's not anything that you should like fight against. It just feels like that at some point you were noticed, and this is connected to that noticing. Does that make sense? I
A
don't
little.
feel like it's anything deep or scary or whatever, but it is the reason it reoccurs. And it can be, my guides are also showing me a little bit of high stress induction weakens you in your dreamscape. That's true for all of us. Okay, let's see. Does anybody have any more questions about dreams? I love that we just kind of dove off on that real fast.
What about sleep paralysis that one can have while sleeping?
Okay. I'm just curious, how many of us have it? Like have had fought against it?
I've had
Anybody?
it twice.
I've had it quite a bit. Melissa, have you had it? You're saying when you were younger. That's not a current Melissa.
Melissa, come back.
Danica, have you ever had it?
Not that I'm
Okay,
aware
good.
of.
I'm trying to let her in. Yay!
Welcome back.
Melissa, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Yeah, I mean, a feeling
They're telling me when you were younger.
like scared, but I also don't think that feeling hung around me very long. I honestly feel like my guides were just like, it's fine, it's okay. You're not going crazy. But yeah, I know I felt that, but I just didn't feel like it was scary for very long.
Let's check in with our guides, and I'm going to start with you, Danica. What do they say that the paralysis is.
It's built up what we would consider negative energy, like shame, guilt, stress. There's lots of different labels to label it, they're saying, but it's built up energy that needs to be released, and we're not releasing it in an appropriate way or in like a timely fashion.
And Melissa, what do they say about it?
They're saying it's multiple things that can happen that result in that scenario, but often it is that you have astral traveled, and the timing of your body waking up and your soul coming back in is if the timing is off. And you just need that little bit of time before you sync with your body again.
And Ariel, what are they saying to you about it?
It is in times of high stress, and when we are at, because it is when we are at our most vulnerable, is when our body's still asleep because it can't fight back. They're bringing me back to one of the times that I did have it, and I had just endured a high stress situation, and it was almost like my mind couldn't shut off. So even though my body was still asleep, my mind was still processing and functioning through that situation.
They're showing me it can be a little bit of an electrical issue, almost like in the brain. But more to Melissa's point, it's like that maladapted. It's like something kind of short circuits, and you're not able to. They're also saying though, okay, because I gotta roll it back because they're bringing up the other component, which is pressure. So when we sleep and say that we do, like you said, astral travel, it's almost like it's like your own demons can, this is gonna sound crazy. It's like your own demons can get there first. So let's say that you're bogged down like with the stress, or let's say it's these, guilt, shame, and whatever. It's almost like when you vacate your energy, what do you think is there when you're not? And then when you slide back in, it's almost like they're showing me a baseball player sliding into home base, but there's something on the base and you have to kind of like shove it off or shove it. It's almost like that's why I think people can have really aggressive, negative, almost painful experiences trying to recalibrate with the body, is because there is a force working against you at that point. Possibly trying to scare you, whatever the cases may be. So there's the electrical component of the event of that. There's, I think, the biological component. There's that spiritual side of things, which is forever not nothing, right? We don't know exactly how much of it is, but we know it's not nothing. And if you are hearing that chatter before bed, like I said, or sometimes it'll sound to me like a radio station trying to flip around, and it won't set on anything. That's when you bring your guides forward and you ask them to close the gap. You ask them to close that door firmer. You ask that to sort of be, you allow yourself to isolate your frequency back down. Because when you're in control of your own frequency, you're not catching these other frequencies because you're only on your own station. Whenever we're catching that static or that flack, what the reality is we're a little bit exposed, because it just means that we're broadcasting. And I prefer to not broadcast. So if you're receiving at that level, then the odds are you're broadcasting at that level. No need to let people know where you're at, what you're up to, how exhausted you are, how you feel about your family, all these things that we can ruminate on. But my guides are just saying, we need to, they're almost saying, put that in a dustbin. And they're like, we got to tidy up a little bit. Okay. Melissa, remind me, did you say, I can't remember because my brain's fried. Did you have a personal question?
Yeah, just how Gary is going to cope with,
Gary.
being
Yes.
away.
I'm just going to say this as I'm hearing it. Gary's going to be fine. He's fine. He is going to be dealing with some insecurities that the past couple months have brought forward for him. And so in some ways it will be, I just heard renovating for him. And it's like a renovation of self. So I do think overall it's very positive. I think that he's thinking, he's been kind of running from himself. I feel like we'll just say past 8 months. Is that accurate? Okay.
Feeling
And it
self-
feels like when he comes back.
yeah, I think he's
Oh, what'd
feeling
you say?
self-conscious, but I feel like, because I've been trying to be honest about some of my concerns and my boundaries, I think that is definitely triggering him feeling self-conscious. So yeah, I think that's fair.
Danica or Ariel, do you guys have anything you want to jump in on that with at all?
I'm just being told that this is going to be good for him. It's a way for him to, I'm hearing, cut cords and figure out his own foundation, like work on his own foundation is what I'm being told. That this is actually, it's going to be hard at first, but overall, like, it's almost like he'll be happier because he'll build that in himself. That's what I'm being told.
And they're showing me a hot air balloon, almost like when he, I think when he puts more into himself and is adding that, like that fire combustion to the balloon, that way he can soar higher.
I think he's just going to be building on himself a lot, which he needs to. That's going to be good for him.
Thank you for the sign of the hot air balloon. Those have been showing up all the time. You just said it.
You're welcome.
Really?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. Oh, Danica wants to know if she should move in with her boyfriend.
Well, he's gonna be moving in with me.
Or right, yeah, I'm sorry. If he should move in. Ariel, I'll let you start.
I am hearing couples quarrels, so it'll be an adjustment period for him to move in with you. And I feel like you're going to be more annoyed with him than he of you. And then they're saying to not become his mother, in the sense of, I guess, like, don't pick up after him, don't let him leave the doors open. You're moving into a respectable lady's house, and you're bringing him into your peace. And if he wants to be a piece of that, then he needs to maintain it.
Melissa, what are you feeling?
Getting this, like, caution, not no, but just caution. Like, it's so easy to be very excited, and they're just saying that, yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's just that there's going to be a little friction in the beginning of that.
And when is the timeline? Like, when is his lease coming up?
In March.
In March. Okay, so that's a little bit. It will
Like,
be
it doesn't
okay.
matter.
Essentially, it's taking the relationship and putting it through a trial by fire. So it's a very purifying thing to do. So either y'all will get through it and it will be something that's really meant to be for a while, or it will go up in flames. But I don't see a middle ground. So it just has
And
that
I also
purification process attached.
And I don't see that there's a difference between, like, if he was to move in a couple of months versus if he was to move in a year from now. Like, this period of you two being together is going to be the same no matter what time.
That's why I said at lunch the other day, I said, yeah, do it. And the reason being is because it's like, let's find out. Let's see. Because it doesn't see, like Melissa said, there's no caution against it. Just understand what it is. It's not necessarily two people who are super in love, moving in together and things are gonna be rosy. It's no, like, and it's very your style, Danica, but it's almost like, let's get in the fucking ring.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna do this or not?
Stop wasting time. Yep.
Yeah. So it's very on brand. But it also it will make this next year very much about that connection and very little about you. So you will run the risk of feeling like you've lost yourself at the end of the year if you're not very, very careful. And given the fact that you just felt only a year ago of that you lost yourself, you might react really strongly to not feel that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So I know that that didn't add a lot of clarity because it probably told you a lot of what you already knew, but it certainly does. Let's call a spade a spade. That's kind of where but the benefit is too. The benefit is you won't ever know until you do this. You want to know. I can feel that you want to know.
Yeah.
So let's find out.
Yep. That's where I'm at.
Let me see if there's any advice for the life with y'all moved in together. You're gonna really have to okay. So the first thing is sort of one of the aspects is relaxing the particulars, and I don't know why they said it that way, but it almost feels like you have a particular way of things in general, and you're going to have just spent 23 years not having things your way. Now is not the time to die on each way you'd prefer to have, because it's going to feel like life or death. It's going to feel like I need to stand on this boundary till I die. But there's a difference between, I just heard this earlier, there's a difference between a boundary, which is what you uphold for yourself, and an expectation, which is what you try to control someone else to do. So we got to sort that out mentally and emotionally before you move in together, so you know where you are, and then you can A/B test against your own weaknesses. Is this me being a little bit crazy because I just left a crazy marriage and I'm scared? Or is this me legitimately needing to be upset and be affronted and offended? And that's going to be a little bit of a dance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. The main thing. Ariel, remind me what your question was.
I have a family member who is waiting for some test results.
And who's well, let me just fill it out. What were they getting checked for? Was it like a biopsy? Did they send something in already?
They did a blood test.
Oh, okay. And is it the type of blood test where you're negative or positive?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
the PSA.
Melissa, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Male
Yes.
family member, yes. Prostate specific antigen, so
Yes.
they're looking to see if you have basically it's an early marker for those who have prostate cancer, which prostate cancer is one of the most treatable forms of cancer, but does he have other people in his family that have that?
Wait, can you say some of that again? Because you were really spotty and this feels really important. I'm
It's like-
sorry.
It's a test to check for prostate cancer, and I'm curious to hear if there's any family history of that for him.
I don't know that there is. It's my father-in-law, so I mean, as far as I know, like his dad doesn't have it.
I'm feeling like this is not a thing to worry about. I'm feeling like what they're saying is the numbers are up a little bit and they want to keep an eye on it, so they want him to do maybe a little more testing. But right now, this is not a problem.
Danica, what are you feeling?
I feel like it's almost like a scare right now to kind of get him to take his health serious. But I'm hearing, I don't know if he has high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I'm hearing that, and he needs to get that under control.
Well, and no matter how it shakes out, you know, whenever I ask, is it a test that can be negative or positive? If it were, the answer would have been positive. So what I do feel is that it is kind of like what we're all feeling is that it is something to get him to get something in order. I don't feel that it's overarchingly negative to say, but I feel that just based on the energy in the room whenever they're talking, it feels very heavy and very scared. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that he does receive news he'd prefer to not receive, but I don't feel that it's on a mortal level.
That's what I was feeling too, but again, it's hard to read for ourselves.
Yes.
So we had just lost Chris's mom in July, and to have another one go out soon would be detrimental to the family, but that's good. To hear that it doesn't seem fatal. Definitely an attention brought to his attention to take care of himself more.
My guide says he's got a lot of years left.
Good.
He's gonna be fine. It does feel he's gonna be fine. I do feel like at some point in the relatively near future, which means between now and 5 years, I would not be surprised if he doesn't have some kind of procedure. I'm feeling something around that, but try to see if they want anything else from that. No, it feels good. It feels all right. My random question is around my dear and lovely family / mother. And I'm just wondering if there's any updates with or around them. Danica?
Because I don't like what I heard.
No poker face up there. It's totally okay. There's never anything good with them. What did you hear?
Do you want me to say what I heard?
Yes. I'm so open.
It was very, very, very blunt and very loud. I heard witch is going to burn. That is what I heard. That she dug her own.
Dang. Holy cow. And but not as far as I know, but not to anything to do with me.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. It's all on her own. That's what I heard.
Dang. What do you feel, Melissa?
I wasn't getting anything.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Nothing.
Oh, you can't hear us?
No. I can hear you, but
Okay,
there you
noted
are.
now.
Now we can.
Now we can't. Ariel, what do you feel?
I'm very curious to know. Okay, so not Terry, right?
No.
Your other. Okay, because I was like, oh, witch is gonna burn. Oh no.
No, not
It's like no, not Terry.
No.
This is all your paralegal.
Adopted. Oh, not even about the legal stuff.
Okay.
I just want to know what her and my brother, if they're, what's going on in that world.
Have anything?
Danica.
No.
I'm hearing they're scheming, is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing like little mice like running around, like they're scheming something.
Oh, that's so funny. I just don't even feel worried about them. Is that weird?
No.
I'm just like, you guys.
Is she like trying to talk him into doing stuff? Because I'm seeing like he's her puppet.
Well, I'm trying to let her in. I don't know because I don't speak to them. Yay, she's back. I don't speak to them, but all I know is that I woke up the other day and my brother was showing up as a person that you may know, which only happens if they've been like snooping on your account. And so,
That's why my ex keeps showing up on mine.
Yeah, somebody has to snoop on you, kind of hard for that to be true. And so he showed up, so I knew because I had updated a filing in the court case, but I don't know if they're scheming, and my guides have already told me like to not worry about it. And Terry had said that she heard around him bought and paid for. But Melissa, what were you saying? I'm very curious.
No.
Anything specific, but it was also more of that.
Apparently, you are not supposed to know.
Nothing that affects you.
I know. Lord have mercy. I'm like all I want to hear. I'm on bated breath. No, how interesting though. Like I've always said that I believe that there's a chance that they are involved in societies that are deeper and darker than I could ever understand. And it feels to me like that there are dues to be in that club. I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly the feeling that I had, and what I heard was she dug her own grave. Like she signed a deal with the devil, and she's gonna have to pay for it.
Oof. And she really would have. And so now has my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because I figured that's what Terry was sensing when she heard bought and paid for.
Yeah, but I'm seeing him portrayed as like her puppet.
He's not a strong individual by any stretch. He has no inner strength, and he is very susceptible to influence. But I don't know what she could possibly be getting him to do. That's the reality.
It's more, I feel the words that she uses it's almost like a alluring him into that world. That's what I feel. Not that she's saying like go do this for me or things like that, but it's like she pulled him into it.
What a shame. But they all would have. I mean, like, bless his heart, but also not, because I feel like he's done crazy stuff now too. But anywho, okay. So let's talk about next week. What should we chat about? And thank you guys so much, by the way, always.
No, thank you. All of you. Thank you.
I love when we do this. Okay, what are fun topics next week? Oh my gosh, Melissa's in this waiting room. Let's see what we can get it. Melissa!
Oh, we had said before too, her guide is very much, let's go, wrap it up, we're done.
I know.
Trying to get her home.
Done,
I'm trying to get her home.
She's done.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa! I love you. Don't go. Don't leave us like this. Okay. Fun topics for next week. Ariel, I'll let you start. He said,
No, because it feels like it's like a curriculum. So we started with the ocean. Now they want to go to the Emerald Isles.
Okay,
so
let's do it.
Maybe it's
Emerald
I
Isles.
didn't hate school, but it's almost like you didn't like to do this before, so we're going to do it now.
That's cute, and I love it. Let's do it. Danica?
I first heard archangels and apparitions, and then I heard Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yeah, it reminded me of. Well, there we go. So all of the mysteries of the ocean. You had the Bermuda Triangle and the planes that randomly disappear over the ocean. Titanic.
Yeah.
Let me see what. Let's go undiscovered lands.
That's funny you say that because I was just hearing too, like how they used to live in like communities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if that's how it's gonna go back to that.
Right. Ooh, yes. Like communal realities. All right, ladies, we have done it. Thank you so, so much. And I appreciate you guys. We'll get together next week. Monday still work for everybody? Okay, awesome. I will see you guys later. I'm going to hit stop, but then stay on for a little bit so we can make sure it downloads. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.